David Zublick here with your Dark Outpost morning news update. Thanks for being with us. We appreciate it. Hey, folks, weight loss is scientifically proven to be most difficult once we reach our middle ages and beyond. This is because after the age of 20, and that's a long time ago for yours truly, our body's metabolism slows down 4% every decade. We experience a 10% drop in our metabolism by the time we're 50. That also is in the rear view mirror for yours truly here. Now, this is why I highly recommend something called Keto Elevate. I want you to check this out. Thousands of Americans are reporting losing weight, slimmer stomachs, toned muscles, and reduced cravings within days of taking this great product. It's the fastest way to lose weight that I know of. I highly recommend Keto Elevate. You can try it today for 51% off by going to ketowithdavid.com. That's ketowithdavid.com, or by clicking the link in the description of this video, ketowithdavid.com. All right, let's see what's going on right now. This is absolutely incredible, folks. This is going to blow your mind. High school students in a Washington state public school are being forced to wear ankle monitors, ostensibly to assist in COVID-19 tracing efforts. But it's just the latest example of how the Marxists throughout our society, and let's face it, we've become a Marxist nation, who have long posed as Democrats, right, are turning our society into a prison labor camp, minus our constitutional rights under the phony guise of keeping us safe. It's been all about keeping us safe since 9/11, right? The Patriot Act and everything else. Well, from this story on naturalnews.com, officials at Eatonville High School purchased these ankle bracelets for coaches and students involved in sports, football, volleyball, soccer, baseball, softball, basketball. And if they want to play or be involved in any of these sports this year, then they have to wear them. They have to wear them. The trace tag monitors are made by a company called Triax. The devices have both visual and audio sensors that alert students when they are too close to each other. They also collect contact trace data later used to identify which students have had contact with students who test positive for COVID. According to the district, the devices are only used during games or practices. Right. According to the report, the school funded the purchase of these tracking devices with grant money that likely came from U.S. taxpayers or borrowed from China. So, according to the Post-Millennial, who first reported this story, the devices work to send out a visual and audible alarm so individuals know when to adjust their current distance to properly social distance. Not surprisingly, the requirement to wear the devices was not included in any back-to-school materials provided to parents, and thankfully, some sanity is beginning to prevail. School Board Director Matt Marshall told the Post-Millennial that the district has shelved the devices for now until proper procedures, including community input and board approval processes, occur. He said, "We will fight any requirements that segregate students based on vaccination status. I'm confident the rest of my colleagues will do the same." But the school's left-wing superintendent, clown by the name of Gary Neal, said that segregation was not the impetus behind the devices in his push to continue using them. He said, "If a student or coach tests positive, we will have immediate information regarding athletes and coaches' contacts so we can more tightly determine who might need to be quarantined." We'll keep you posted on later developments regarding this story. AOC says other people can menstruate, not just women. Oh, I can't wait to see what this is all about. How about you, right? Let's see. Far left Democrat Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez declared on Wednesday that menstruation is not just limited to women. She said trans men and non-binary people can also menstruate. Some women also don't menstruate for many reasons, including surviving cancer that required a hysterectomy. Well, I got to tell you, this woman is completely off the spools, folks. Just completely off the spools. Let's see. Jimmy Kimmel, unvaccinated people who've taken ivermectin should be left to die, he said. To die. All right. And here's one that really blows my mind. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? The National Archives are now giving the United States Constitution and the Declaration of Independence warning labels. They are now deemed to consist of potentially harmful content, according to the National Archives. Visitors looking for the U.S. founding documents on the National Archives website will now be greeted with labels warning them of quote-unquote harmful language. The harmful language alert labels can be found on pages displaying the scanned versions of the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution, as well as the first 10 amendments known as the Bill of Rights. What do you think about that, folks? Potentially harmful content when reading the United States Constitution or the Declaration of Independence. And did you know that if you've ever visited Disney World, and folks, you know my opinion of Disney World, it's a pedophile haven, it's a predator haven, the whole thing. But if you ever go there, if you've ever been there at all, you know that they have this thing called the Hall of Presidents, where they have these animatronic figures. They're kind of like robots that look exactly like the presidents of the United States, and they update them every time a new president is elected. Well, they finally got around to unveiling the new Joe Biden animatronic figure at the Hall of Presidents at Disney World, and I thought you might want to get a little glimpse of it.
35 simple words that have been repeated by every American president throughout history.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by the you know the thing. And by the way, I sit on the stand and it get hot. I got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. They look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
All right. So check that out. Join me at 12 noon Eastern time today on Rumble for the live edition of Dark Outpost today. Among our guests, Jesse Zaboter of Illuminate the Darkness at illuminatethedarkness.com, and Michelle Stefanik will also be with us, continuing her expose of the attacks of 9/11, Benghazi, and the African embassy bombing. It all begins today at 12 noon Eastern on Rumble. This is David Zublick with your Dark Outpost morning update.